What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today, COLISEUM Kizaru has now debuted on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and, you know, it's kind of interesting that it's dropping on the same day as this massive Sugo Fest. So in this video today, we're going to be breaking down the character himself. We'll go through rounds 1 and 2, and then I've got 4 different teams for you guys against the final round of the COLISEUM versus Kizaru. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So in terms of limit break, I am actually so close to maxing his limit break. I literally need like 2 more limit break orbs to get him completely maxed. There's actually some Chopper Man missions that will give you some of his limit break orbs when you start maxing his skill. And remember, it is 100% skill up chance right now, so I would suggest to try and max him out as soon as possible. But this guy is an extremely difficult COLISEUM. We'll talk more about it as we go along here. But Kizaru is an int shooter free spirit character. His captain effect is a 2.75 times attack to strength and int, and then strength and int slots are beneficial to those characters as well. As for his special ability, it will be a 12 turn max cooldown, but when you max his limit break, it actually goes down to an 11 turn cooldown, and it will go ahead and reduce the special charge time of one character on your team by 2 turns, so you get to choose which one you want to do. And then for strength and int characters, makes all their colored orbs matching for 1 turn, and then gives them a 2 times orb boost for 1 turn. What a crazy good special, right? This is a phenomenal special effect that will definitely see play, especially if you need to clear content really fast. This guy's going to be your go-to for strength and int teams. Now, as for his crewmate abilities, he also resists 3 turns of special reverse, so if a character gets, rewinded, you can use his special to rewind another character's special forward. So he already is an orb booster, remember, so if you've got an attack booster that gets their special cooldowns reversed, you can use him to, like, just reduce them, which is really interesting. And then his secondary one is insane. Strength and int character's special bind is going to be reduced by 2 turns. This is very reminiscent of Rare Recruit Alvida from the Nami and Robin batch. This unit is crazy, like so much utility and massive boosting effects going on right here. This guy is awesome. He's got barrier penetration, so if you're above half health, he goes through barriers. And then he also reduces his own special charge time at the start of the quest by 9 turns. So he's got an 11 turn cooldown after his limit break, so he's going to be ready on turn 1, which is very, very good. And then he has a support effect only supporting int units. 6% of his base attack and HP are added to the supporter unit. So overall, across the board, I'm a big fan of this unit, and I'll definitely be using him to just enable my teams to do a lot of damage, and resisting special bind just innately is a very powerful effect, especially for 2 separate colors by 2 turns. Just passively removing it is phenomenal. So that's the breakdown of Kizaru. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the brand new COLISEUM Borsalino. So getting into the swing of things with round 1 against the Sentomaru first boss. Now, the really cool thing about round 1 and 2 of this COLISEUM is that you legitimately can just use all of the super type straw hats that just debuted on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and they actually defeat the content very easily. I'm almost certain you could actually clear it just with double Luffy, but to make it a little bit more safer, I did actually go ahead and use Shanks' crew as the friend captain, but I'm almost certain that double Luffy will also get the job done. So nothing really too special here that you really need to know. Just as long as you have the super type straw hats, you're not going to have any problems whatsoever with rounds 1 and 2 of the Borsalino COLISEUM.
Let's go.
相手をしてやる。 相手をしてやる。
Let's go.
相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 相手をしてやる。 Let's go. 最後にか合わせる俺の故郷の酒だ飲んでくれ
So now getting into round 3, this is where things get a lot more difficult. First of all, this team, shout out to Snafkin. Snafkin was the original creator of this team, and it is the team that I used to farm it up. It's extremely fast and gets it done very easily. Now, in terms of support effects here, the only real key support effects that I do have on the team that are relatively useful and actually are required are the Legend Bartolomeo attached to Orobi, and also Corazon or V1 Rayleigh, whichever one you want, attached to Luffy and Law. And I also have Flampe attached to Big Mom. Flampe is so good as a support for this particular Coliseum, and we'll talk about that once we get to the final stage against Borsalino. But stage 3, as you guys just saw, was a 2-turn damage threshold on Sentomaru, and then you've got Akainu here, or Sakazuki on Battle 4. He has 7.5 million, and if you have any Dex units on your team, they'll get binded for 5 turns, and also you get inflicted with 7 turns of Despair and 4 turns of Paralysis. So having the support effects of Bato and Rayleigh or Corazon remove the Paralysis and Despair completely, which is great. And you also get badly matching slots, which is why I use Shanks on this particular stage. And then the final stage against Kizaru has 31 million HP, and if you have any silent characters on your team, they're going to be binded for 5 turns, and he makes perfects difficult to hit and then has a 2-hit perfect barrier. So this is the thing that's really sketchy. He has so much health and then has a barrier, and you need to hit 2 perfects whilst making it difficult for yourself to hit perfects, which is why this Coliseum is very, very difficult. So this is where Flampe support is so good, because when we use Big Mom's special, it'll proc the Flampe support, which makes perfects much easier to hit. So in that situation, you're able to do that. You could bring something like the original Merry Go if you do struggle to hit perfects. The Merry Go makes perfects easier to hit. You could run Zunisha ship if you're running a Cerebral or Powerhouse team. So there are ways to mitigate some of that. But as long as you got a way to break through the barrier and deal damage, you're not going to have too many issues against Borsalino. But the thing to note, though, is that if you kill Borsalino, he's going to go ahead and deal 40,000 damage to your team. So you definitely need to block some of that damage that you're about to take. The secondary team I have for you guys for round 3 is utilizing Carrot. Now, as for the subs on this team, quite interestingly, we're using the original Strong World Nami, and the thing about her is that she's actually able to apply resilience to our team. And that's the important thing here is remember, when you kill Borsalino, you actually take 40,000 damage. And remember, when you're using Carrot as a captain, you actually are not allowed to use damage reducing effects, or they just basically won't activate. The only way you can block damage is if you have a resilience buff, which this Nami is able to apply. Now, the other units on this team, we're running Shanks crew as a friend captain because they're just awesome. Shanks crew are just a boss. We've also got Okiku for color affinity on multiple stages, and then we've also got the Rare Recruit Cracker as well, who's going to be our unit to change block orbs into matching, and he also gives our team a 1.75 attack boost. And then we've also got Pudding, which is perfect for this particular stage against Sakazuki, as her special removes all the paralysis and all of the despair, so no problems at all there. And the really cool thing here is by using Carrot as our captain, when we reach the final stage against Borsalino, we don't have to worry about hitting our perfects as much because we just bypass the barrier anyways. And you actually see with this team, I screw up so bad on the final stage, I thought I was done for, but with the amount of damage output that this team provides, we are still able to clear it. So I would say if you are really nervous about hitting your perfects, potentially a team like this might be something you want to go for, as, you know, even if you do struggle to hit your perfects, you're not really going to have too many issues anyways on the final stage. And now, here we are with V2 Snakeman. I was so blessed to have pulled this guy today. Pulled him on the second multi. If you guys haven't seen my video of where I actually summoned this guy, make sure you go ahead and check it out on the YouTube channel. It was so awesome. I'm so happy I was able to pull him. But this team in particular is really good. The team utilizes the Merry ship, as well as having the support of Psy Perona, which was like a free-to-play unit that came out quite a while back. And it basically makes Perfects a little easier to hit. It doesn't make him much easier to hit, but the support Perona makes Perfects slightly easier to hit. And then on top of that, using the Merry Ghost ship, like Perfects are actually pretty easy in this team composition. But you don't have to run something like that. You can go ahead and just naturally try and hit your Perfects. It's a lot more riskier that way, but it is what it is. Now, with this team, on the final stage, we're able to launch the Super Type Special of Snakeman, which will give us a 2x attack boost. We get a 2.5 orb boost with his special. We get the Cracker changing the block orbs into matching, as well as giving our team the chain boost, and also giving our team the color affinity. And then we've got Robbie to block all the damage that we would have taken. Now, in terms of support, I did run 20th Anniversary Usopp attached to Luffy, so that on the Sentomaru stage, we can get a full board of matching slots. And then we're also running Legend Neko on the Chopper to remove the bind that was going to be inflicted on stage 3. And then, of course, as I mentioned, we are running that free-to-play Psy Perona character on the Zora to make Perfects slightly easier to hit, as you'll see when we reach the final stage. But overall, a relatively decent team that's able to take down Borsalino. And now the final team is my man, Mr. Slam Jam V3. Now, this team, I would not suggest running this team, but it's just a proof of concept saying, yeah, he's able to clear this Coliseum. Now, I have a support character that's very useful on, I think, every single character in this particular team. So first of all, utilizing the Doflamingo special to give us a little bit of an orb boost. And the main reason why I'm running Dofi in particular is because of that support character that was just launched, which is the Psy Rare Recruit Bellamy, who, when you launch a special of Dofi, it removes 2 turns of damage threshold. So that's the whole reason why we did that. I'm not really too sure if you could optimize this team in a better way, but that's the way that I thought of. You know, this particular stage against Sentomaru is the most difficult stage. If you're able to bypass this, the rest of the content is relatively easy. Also, managing your health with Katakuri is also something you need to take into consideration. You can see that with this team, we actually are running the 1000 Sunny ship, the Coded Shunny, because when we launch the special of the ship, it blocks damage by half for 1 turn. And then with double Katakuri below 50%, that's 30% damage reduction each from both captain effects. And then with sockets and then other potential abilities that we might have, which I don't think anyone on this team blocks strength damage. But either way, with sockets, captain abilities, and the ship special, we are hoping that that is going to be enough damage to tank. And it actually is. So I think we actually end up taking 8,000 to 9,000 damage. So you need to be below 50%, but like above 8,000 or 9,000 damage when you kill Borsalino. So managing your health is actually quite difficult. I mean, I'm sure you could switch and change some of the characters around on this particular team to make it a little bit easier on that final stage. But again, as I said, this is just a proof of concept showing that, you know, V3 Katakuri, he's able to clear the latest Coliseum, which is pretty awesome. Now, we are running, I think, Corazon support attached to Trafalgar Law. And then on the chopper in the bottom corner there, we're actually using Legend Neko again as a support to remove some of the bind when we reach the final stage. And then on Sanji, you can see we're running the Valentine's Nami. That'll remove some of that despair that gets inflicted there on stage 4. And then the final support character that we're running is Flampe on Katakuri, so that on the final stage, perfects are easier to hit, and we can kill Borsalino much easier. But on the final stage, it's kind of crazy, right? Because we get a 2.25 orb boost with Trafalgar Law, we get a 2x conditional, a 2x attack boost with Katakuri, and he launches his super type to guarantee that delay, of course, which bypasses all immunity, which typically in a lot of other teams in this Coliseum, you're not going to be getting a conditional boost here. So that's one of the great things that Katakuri is able to do. And then, of course, we get the chain boost boosting effect from Trafalgar Law, where your base chain starts at 2.5 and then only goes up from there. So it shows just how much damage this team's able to do, even with a non-boosted character such as Trafalgar Law. Just having that one unit on your team that can apply a really beneficial effect is just awesome, right? So anyways, that is going to end this video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Da